Hey guys, sorry I owe you guys a big apology. I've been busy, I've been sick, had lots of stuff going on, so I'm just now getting back to videos, and I promise you I'm going to do a lot better. Um, Last time we talked, I was looking at rebuilding my transmission. I looked at it, and it was out of my scope. Talked to a buddy of mine who builds plenty of midget transmissions, and he said that's not the one you want to try to build. He goes, it's a lot of detent balls, a lot of intricate pieces. He goes, it's not the one you want to screw with. So bring it to me, I'll take care of it. So I took it to him, and he he did an excellent job on it. He rebuilt it, and I filmed. I got it back from him. I filmed the installation, and something happened to my video, so I lost the video of the installation. So here we go. MG midget, fresh transmission installed, test driven, works like a champ. So we got a fresh engine, fresh transmission, and thank God the vibration is gone. Vibration's gone. Go figure. Apparently it was all internal into the transmission. Also, the crazy speedometer thing was gone too. I don't know if I told you guys about that, but that was an issue with the speedometer that was going. It was just when you drive it, and it had that, as soon as it hit that vibration period when you were driving it, the speedometer would jump up and down and go all around, and that's kind of how I determined it had to be internal to the transmission. Anyway, got that fixed up, put that in. I had multiple issues putting the transmission in. You wouldn't think it would be on this little bitty car, but I put it in, and the transmission mount wouldn't bolt up for anything. I kept trying to get this thing to bolt up, and feeling around and moving it around and jostling everything around, and I messed with it for 2 days. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm not this stupid. Something's going on here. Well, when I had the transmission rebuilt, I've got 2 other transmissions. So what I did was I took one of these other transmissions to him and said, hey, how about building this transmission for me? And that's what he built. Well, both those other transmissions that I have mounts on them. And so I just used the mount off of one of the other the transmission that was on it. I just used that mount. Well, those have weld nuts on the inside of them, and both sides of the mount, the weld nuts were ripped off of it. So lo and behold, I put the transmission in the car. I'm getting everything hooked up and everything, and I, should have tried to put these bolts in long before I had everything squared away, but I had the thing almost completely installed and figured out this whole mount conundrum. So I pulled it back out, realized that the weld nuts were screwed up on it. So I thought, well, while I got this thing out and I'm swapping over the transmission mount, I will buy new mounts for the transmission mount. There are actually, that tiny little transmission has 3 mounts on the back of it. So left and right, and there's a center bottom one. So I bought those from Moss, installed those. I actually did this a little differently. The transmission, if you know anything about an MG Midget, they have a transmission tunnel that's closed. You cannot put a drive shaft in underneath the car. It is a royal pain in the ass to put one in with everything in the car. So I split the engine and transmission. I hooked the drive shaft on the transmission, slid it in the hole, bolted up the rear mounts, then I put the engine in. Little bit more tricky, not a big deal, but a little more tricky. But then I got all that together, and then when I got everything done, I already had a transmission in place that I wasn't going to have to wrestle with. So that's a done deal. Transmission's in, engine's in, runs, drives, everything's perfect now. Probably got a little bit of carburetor to sort out still because, or not carburetor. I take that back. Carburetor's fine. Probably got a little bit of timing to work out because I pulled the distributor out when I pulled the engine out just so that I wouldn't damage anything. Just makes it a little bit easier to do. So it's all back together. It's running good, and that project's done for right now. I think the only thing left that I can think of that I may want to do, this car is going to be for sale in the future, and I wanted to give somebody a good car that they could drive around. I wasn't going to restore it, but I wanted to make sure that it was a good driver. And then they could make the choice to drive it just like it is, or invest some more money in getting the paint and body work done. It's not much of that to do, but there is a little bit. Nonetheless, the last thing, it's kind of got a loose front end, so the last thing I may do is I may rebuild the front end on it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I may let the new owner do it. I really need to get this thing sold so I can move on to the Mercedes, which brings me to that topic. I'm going to end this video here on the Midget. I apologize again for just being missing in action. This video should have come out a long time ago, and like I said, I've been sick. I've had a couple things going on. I actually hardly ever get sick, and I got sick twice this year, or right around Christmas and a little afterwards. So that didn't help anything either. So anyway, I'm all good now. Midget's done. We're moving on to the Mercedes at this point. At this point, I've decided that I've got several things that need to be done. There's lots of things that need to be done on this old Mercedes, but the first thing is, right now it's a huge brick. So my goal is to get the engine out, get it sorted out, and get it running, driving, and then we can address all the other crap. Because it's going to need, I got rubbers to replace on the windshield. The windshield leaks into the car, which rusted the floorboards out, which I found interesting because I thought it was going to have some other form of a water leak, but it is basically the rubbers around the windshield and back glass are so deteriorated that they leak inside the vehicle. So I got a waterproof cover on it to try to slow that down some, and but there's a chain of events that need to happen here. The headliner needs to be replaced, and to replace the headliner, the windows have to come out. The front and rear window have to come out. Then you have to put the headliner in, and then put the windows in. And then, once we get it where it's not leaking into the car, then we can cut the floors out, replace the floorboards. There's no sense in putting floorboards in it till we get the water leak stopped. So anyway, we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But I'm going to end this video here because this is just really a final video for the Midget for now. There may be other ones coming, and we're going to start filming on the Mercedes immediately. There's not going to be a lot of talking on that one because I got to get busy on it, but nonetheless, we'll get it going. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Trying to get this thing going. I'm not doing a good job myself getting it going, but anything you guys can help with, just comments and likes, I would appreciate all of it. It helps with the channel, and we're going to get this thing going. I'm just a little slow with it, and I'm not the greatest videographer in the world for sure. But thanks again. Talk soon. All right, guys, here's where we are on the Mercedes. Like I said, there's not going to be a lot of talking on this video. Right now, it's getting this lump out of here. And I got a lot of stuff to do to get this lump out of here, so you're not going to hear me talk a lot. You're going to see me getting on with it, so bear with me, and as we work on it. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. All right, we got AC lines loose. I've got one of the belts off for the AC and the tensioner. The tensioner is completely shot on this thing, so as we get this thing pulled apart, we're going to find out what this thing needs beyond the engine. Obviously, this engine I've tested, has no compression on it, and fortunately for me, like a moron, I bought a diesel, which I'm sure they're great for some people that know about diesels, but I know nothing about diesels, so I'm kind of jumping into territory I don't know anything about. But I do know this: diesels, they combust on compression, and this has got no compression or very little compression. I did find a starter that was bad on it, so I did replace the starter just to see if I could twirl it around and get it to start, but that didn't do anything for me. Any event, I'm just going to continue getting on with it. Right now I'm trying to get the fan off the front of the engine. Which is kind of tight spaced and a little bit on the tedious side, but we'll get it worked out. I knew I was going to bust a knuckle at some point. I'm kind of thinking a little bit about, depending on what I find with this engine, I'm thinking about a V8 swap. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about a V8 swap for this little Mercedes. I think it'd be kind of cool. But no, it won't be an LS because I'm not a big LS fan. I think the LS thing has been done to death. But I am thinking maybe LS 400 Lexus engine. That would be kind of cool. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. This engine shouldn't be too terribly hard to get out, but it has a mammoth-sized compressor bracket and compressor. So once I get that compressor out, it may go a lot quicker. You have a great weekend. Oh, fan off. All right. All right. Moving on to brackets. Now that I got a little bit of room by getting this fan out of the way, we'll move on to brackets. This lump is crazy big. It's like a 12 millimeter. And they're 13s. Yeah, we're continuing on with this bracket. And that's going to be... Whew. When you need a little extra oomph on your socket, jack handles do a wonder. Amazing how much torque you can get out of a jack handle. When you need some redneck engineering, just ask me. Guys, I've just about got the AC bracket off. I'm probably going to button it up for the day because I've got some things to do. But we'll hit back on it probably tomorrow or I don't know, maybe Monday. But I appreciate y'all watching and checking in with me, and I apologize for not getting videos up a little quicker. But this is going to wrap up part one. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy for doing a diesel? Should I swap it for a V8? Which almost sounds really appealing because I love this little car. But in any event, thanks for watching. Have a good day.